Alright, this question is asking, what is the solution to this equation? I'm going to do two things. I'm going to go ahead and solve it by hand, and then we are going to also check for the answers in Desmos. Alright, so usually when I see fractions, I try to get rid of the fractions, but in this case, I'll go ahead and take off the 3 first, just to make it a little easier. Take that off. So I have here negative x plus 1 over 4 equals 8 minus 3 is 5 minus 2x. And here again, to get rid of this fraction, I'll go ahead and multiply both sides by 4. Also, I'm going to take off this negative as well. So I'll go ahead and multiply both sides by negative 4. Alright? So that gets rid of all of this. And then I have here x plus 1 on the top equals, and we're going to have to distribute this because we're multiplying it. So that's negative 20. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8x. And yep, we're going to subtract 8x on both sides. Isolate the variable, so that is negative 7x plus 1 equals negative 20. And yeah, almost done here. So this is negative 21. Divide both sides by negative 7. X equals positive 3. Okay, well, that is the official long way to do the problem, but I do want to tell you that if you want to make sure you did all that right, we can always just check for the answer here in Desmos. Just plug it in just the way it is, and Desmos will draw that vertical line right there, and the x coordinate tells you that's the answer, 3. For this one, you have 1/3. Oh, 1/3. Okay, let me start over. 1/3 parentheses x minus 12, and then 2x equals 2x plus 6. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and distribute this first. Okay, so 1/3 times x is 1/3 x, and then 1/3 times 12 is negative 4. You can put that in Desmos, but it's negative 4. It's basically 12 divided by 3. And then bring this part down. Alright, let me move the 4 over. Again, there's a few different ways you can do this. I'm just doing it the way I think works for me. Alright, I need to go ahead and take the 2x over, so I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. That crosses out. I'll put that in Desmos. 1/3 minus 2, let's see. 1/3 minus 2 is negative 5/3. Negative 5 over 3 x. Let me make sure I did that right. Yeah. Equals 10. And then finally, to get rid of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by reciprocal. So I'm going to do 3 over 5, and I'll also just make it a negative so that the negative also goes away. 3 over 5. So all that gets crossed out, and then you just have here x equals negative, so 10 divided by 5 is 2, and then 2 times 3 is 6, so negative 6. I definitely want to, especially because it's the SOL, I want to check this answer out in Desmos. I'm just going to plug it in. And that's what I got, negative 6. Okay. Alright, let's go backwards on this. Let's go ahead and plug this in and then see what we get, since I did 2 of them by hand first. Alright, when I plug this in, Where's my vertical line? So that means that it's neither of these, because then I would have a line going through 4 or a line going through 0. So it has to be infinite or no solution. So to do this, I'll go ahead and show you how to find it by hand, and then I'll show you another way you can do it in Desmos. So by hand, I'll go ahead, let me copy it down. We're gonna first, anytime you see parentheses, we're gonna go ahead and distribute, okay, to simplify it. So that would be 2x, and then that would be 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then 3 times 2 is 6, minus 8. My handwriting is so bad in this video. Just the way I have my writing pad position, I'll change it. Go ahead and combine this two. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And then see what happens here. I'm gonna subtract 2x on both sides, or in other words, just cancel them out. It actually gets canceled out on both sides, right? So end up having 4 equals negative 2. When you have two different numbers like this, then that means it is a no solution. Okay? And that's a no solution. And yes, of course, there is another way you can do this in Desmos. So if you want to check to see if the equations, what type of solutions it has, I kind of split them up. I put the first one as 2x plus 4, and then the second one I will do 2 over 3, 3x plus 9, minus 8, and see how they are parallel lines and they don't cross each other, so therefore it's a no solution. If it was the same line, then it would be infinite solution. I think the next one has that type of example. Yeah, the next one is going to be infinite solutions, but I'll show you how. It says here, given this equation, if the last step in solving this linear equation is negative 3 equals negative 3, what is the solution? So if they end up having no x's on either side, and this is what I end up getting, if you have the same thing on both sides, then it's a true statement, which means it has infinite solution. It's basically the same line. Okay. I don't know if I want to work out this. Well, okay, fine, we'll just do it. See, it says you have extra practice in solving. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and distribute the 2, so that's 2x minus 6 plus 3 equals 2x minus 3. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. Bring everything down. And see how I have the same thing on both sides? If I cancel those out, I have this. If I cancel out the 3, then I'll still have 2x equals 2x. So anything I do, I'm going to end up having the same thing on both sides. So that means it's infinite solution. Okay? Alright, one last problem. I think I will go ahead and just do this one in Desmos. If it happens to have a fraction, which I am guessing it will, then I'll show you one way you can find it. And, yep, it is a fraction. So how will I know which one it is? Well, I know it's positive fraction, so it must be 35 over 11. That's probably what it is. Yeah, that's the answer. They just got rounded off here. And then let me go ahead and show you how to do this one in Desmos. So I have here, as I'm writing down, and the good part is with fractions, I can handle the fraction operations in Desmos, right? So the first thing I'll do is always, take the x over. So that is 1/4 minus 3. Let me put that in Desmos. 1/4 minus 3 is negative 11 over 4. Negative 11 over 4 x. Copy everything down. And then bring this over, subtract 8 on both sides. That crosses out. So bring this down. So negative 3 over 4 minus 8. is negative 35 over 4. Negative 35 over 4. And then to get rid of that fraction right here in front of the x, I'll multiply both sides by the reciprocal, 4 over negative 11, or just make sure to multiply the negative because I want to get rid of the 4 as well. I mean the negative as well. So that crosses everything out. And then you have x equals, negative times a negative is a positive, and then the 4's cancel out, so you just have 35 over 11, or you can throw all that in Desmos as well. But so the negative is a positive, the 4's cancel out, so you just have 35 over 11. All right, that's that. I guess the main thing I would remember about this video is the different types of solution and how to know what is an infinite solution when they end up getting the same thing on both sides, or if you end up getting different things on both sides, then it means it's a no solution. All right, guys, thank you.